Okay.
Okay.
Can you say your full name?
Okay, Sharon Lucille Cargal. My maiden name was Fletcher.
Okay, and your mother's name?
Uh, Betty Lou Martin. It used to be Fletcher. And her
Okay.
maiden name was Hope.
Okay, and your dad's name?
Edward Fletcher.
Okay, and let's see, your birth date?
6/11/1949.
Okay, and let's see here. How about sisters and brothers'
Okay,
names?
my brother's name is Lowell Edward Fletcher. And then my sister is Camille, but everybody calls her Kay. Her married name is, I forgot her married name. Don't tell her that. Clay Schulte.
Very good.
Okay, I knew it was one of those big ones.
Okay, and where was you born at?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay, and did you grow up in St. Louis? Or?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Any kind of special childhood memories that really stick in your
gee.
mind, or?
Well, there's a few, and I just, like, when my dad was alive, we had a bird, and his name was Petey. And, we used to let him fly around the house and stuff, and I remember one time him being dead. He died. So my dad wraps him up in a newspaper, and I thought we were going to go bury him, and my dad threw him in the trash can.
Oh.
Upset me really
Oh.
bad. There goes Petey.
Oh, man.
And then another time, my dad, all of us kids were, there was an alley out in the back of where we lived, and all the kids used to play in the alley. And at the end of the alley, there was a busy street. Well, my dad took a tire and rolled it down, and you could hear all the cars going, trying to miss this tire. Now, it wasn't a kid that did it. It was, my dad. And that, and whatever. And then one time, your dad was riding me on the bike, and I think I was on the bar, and we were going down an alley, and my foot got caught in the spokes.
Oh, no.
And we ended up in the trash can. I remember that.
I wonder if he remembers.
Probably not.
How old were you then?
Oh, gee, I don't know. I know we lived on, I went to St. Edward's school anyway, so maybe 10,
Wow.
maybe. And that, and another thing is, when we lived on Ogden, your father used to tickle Kay and I until we'd laugh so hard he'd take his dirty socks off and stick it in our mouth. And us two trying to get him, we had to work twice as hard.
We will have
Oh, God.
We're going to have to work on trying to pay him back for you.
Okay, yeah, that sounds real good. And that, and, just, I don't know, just.
How about anything with your mom, or?
Mom was always, Mom's always been kind of quiet and whatever, she's just always been kind of that way.
Uh-huh.
Was she stern?
No. Uncle Bob always lived somewhere near us, so if we got in too much trouble or it was too hard to handle, we were marched down to Uncle Bob's house.
Really?
Bob
Hope?
Yeah, and had to stand there and listen to him, jump our case, if it was something Mom couldn't handle or whatever. But
Oh, wow.
just, I don't know, Mom, she was pretty easygoing. Of course, I know she worried about us, and stuff.
Still does.
Yeah, still does.
Still does. Hasn't quit.
Yeah, and that, but
Yeah.
I try and call her once a week, so we can talk and stuff. But
That's great.
I don't know, just, I couldn't ask for a better mom. See, I'm putting that in, Mom. Real cheesy.
Okay, what about school? What schools did you go to?
I can't remember. Kindergarten. Well, yeah, I did. Notre Dame, Dolores, and then also went to St. Edward's grade school. Both of those were grade school, and then the high school was Mercy High, and that was in University City, you know, and that. And, well, I didn't do real good. I hated school. You know, really, I wasn't. I wish I would have done better. You know, but we all say that afterwards.
Right.
You know, I mean, I ended up going to summer school 1 year for English. I hated English. I hated that English teacher, junior year. I hated that woman, you know, and that, and whatever. And I got A's and B's in English during summer school. But that's because we had to read a lot. It wasn't all that diagramming sentences and stuff. You know, I'm just real
They're a little
bad.
bit more laid back in summer school.
Yeah, you know, and I would rather read than have to diagram a sentence and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I didn't know how to do
How
that
did
stuff,
they
and I
would
still
have
don't.
to make you dissect it like you said
Yeah.
in school,
Oh.
yeah.
It was awful, you know, and that, and just, I don't know.
When you graduated, then what did you do?
Well, looked for a job after I graduated, and looked and looked and looked and looked. And then your dad was driving a truck then, and he had me go over to Rexall Warehouse and put an application in, you know. And so I got hired there. So my very first job was working for a warehouse.
Wow.
And I really liked it, and stuff. And then I got laid off there. And then I ended up going to, they made food for vending machines,
Mhm.
you know. And one thing I did really stupid there is they would take these big, like, baking sheets, and they'd put the fish on it or whatever, you know, was going to go in the vending machines that day. And then we'd have to go over and pick up the tray and then make the sandwiches. Well, I thought I picked up a tray of fish, but I didn't. It was a tray of shrimp patties. So here we'd made, you know, like 100
Oh, no.
of these fish sandwiches, supposedly. And one of the cooks says, "Hey, where's that tray of shrimp?" So we had to undo all those sandwiches and put other stickers on them.
Oh, no.
I thought, okay, here I am. I'm going to be, you know, I'm going to be let go, you know. But they didn't. The boss laughed, which everybody thought was pretty, you know, funny because he was really strict. The boss was. But then I got laid off there. I had a really hard time keeping a job. I was always laid off somewhere. You know, I worked in an insurance company for a while. And let's see, what else? Well, yeah, I worked at the insurance company, and then Larry and I got married.
Oh,
Now, wait, how did you
Yeah,
meet
how'd you meet
Larry?
Larry?
How did I meet Larry? Well, this is kind of funny. I was dating a fella, and his name was Larry. And we had to go to the grocery store. So before we had gone to the grocery store, my sister, Kay, and my old boyfriend drew pictures on my knees. They held me down and drew pictures on my knees.
Oh, my.
So, you know, I forgot all about it. And so Larry, my old boyfriend, and I go to the grocery store. And I can't figure out why people are looking at me. You know? And then while we were down at the grocery store, we met my future husband, Larry. You know, and I couldn't understand why he was kind of, yeah, like crazy, you know. And then when we got home, I just happened to, I don't know if it looked down or something and realized I still had those stupid pictures on my knees.
Oh, shoot.
You know, and then after my boyfriend and I broke up, and that I had gone to my girlfriend's school for Christmas, you know, and that, and my future husband, he just asked me out, you know. So we went out, and the first thing we saw was Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines. It was an old movie.
Oh, really?
And we went to, I can't remember the name of the movie theater,
Is
but
there-
it was in University City.
Oh, okay.
and that anyway. So
Wow.
and that's kind of how we met.
And how old were you when you met
Jeez.
him?
Oh, I was a junior, so I was probably like 16, 17.
Okay.
And then how long before you got married?
Well, we got married in 1969, so probably about 4.
So you dated
Years.
for about 4 years?
Off and on. We always fought.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, we always were, you know, arguing. When I would go to school, my girlfriend would go, well, are you and Larry together this week or not? You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And then, of course, the next day she'd ask me, and of course we wouldn't be together. You know, we just, you know, nitpicked at each other, I think, all the time. So I'm surprised we stayed married 35 years.
That's how long it's been now? 35?
Yeah, in August it'll be 35.
That's great.
So,
That's
anyway.
wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
And whatever.
And
so.
then you guys got married, and then did you guys stay in, where'd you guys end up
Well,
going, or what?
We, he, was still in the Army. And so, we lived in, Virginia for a while, because he was stationed at Fort Belvoir. And so we lived in Virginia for a while, and then we came home, and he was gonna go to Germany, and so he did a tour of Germany by himself, because I was pregnant with Shannon, and I was due the same time that he was supposed to be getting out of the service, so we were afraid about me being able to fly and stuff. So that was a long 2 years, you know.
And you had Shannon, when did you have Shannon?
Shannon was born October 23rd, 1970.
And what is her full name?
Shannon Lee, Leigh.
Okay.
And that, and I'm trying to think what else. Well, anyway, he got out of the service for a while. We had a house. We lived in Florissant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we lived in Florissant, had a nice little house and everything, and then we just decided to go back in the Army. So he was stationed at Fort Leonard Wood for a while, and then we just, you know, spent 20 plus years in the Army.
And you had more babies.
Yeah, yeah. Sean was born in Germany.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She was born in Germany, and she was born September, God, let me think, September 29, 75.
That's great.
And what is her full name?
Her full name is Shawn Elizabeth. She always used to say, I don't like the name Elizabeth, you know. Why'd you call me that? Or she says, I don't like the name Shawn. Can you just call me Elizabeth? You know.
Oh,
So
really?
no, your name's Shawn, you know. And that. And then we weren't supposed to have any more kids because I had my tubes tied.
Oh, yes.
But little Larry came along.
That's right.
You know, and he was born in Germany too. That was at our second tour of Germany. They say you either come home with a cuckoo clock or a baby. So. And the last time I got that, I figured maybe that would stop me from having babies.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just bring a great big clock home. I don't have to worry about kids.
The grandfather clock,
Yeah,
does it still
uh-huh.
work?
Yeah, it just has to be fixed a little bit.
Yeah.
And I can do it, I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So,
And he was born when?
let's see, little Larry was born February 20th in 1981.
And what is his full name?
Larry Scott
Okay.
and that. And of course, he always wanted to be called Scott because that was his best friend's name. You know. I don't know, just can't please these kids.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the questions that Shannon wanted me to ask you was some special memories with each kid
Oh, gee.
that you had.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Some
Well,
of
of
the fun
course, the
things
day
maybe you guys
The
did.
day they were born, you know, was always special, you know. And that, well, Shannon was in Girl Scouts when we were in Germany one time. and they were going to put on a fashion show, and she had taken, I'm trying to think, I think she took one of my dresses and wore it in the fashion show, you know. So I remember that. I thought that was so cute. And then when she got pinned, her dad was supposed to be there to pin her, but he wasn't able to, so I got to pin her. And that was, that was really neat.
Special,
Yeah, yeah. And then like the time, can't remember what birthday it was, but we had like 20 kids over,
Wow.
and I dressed up as a clown. And
Oh,
we just
really?
had a good time,
That's nice.
and all the kids were well behaved, and I didn't have a mess on the rug and whatever from all these little rugrats, because she was like 5 or 6, I
Okay.
think, so, but that, that was fun. And Shawn, well, her and I always butted heads, especially when she got older, She is more like her father than me. Shannon's like me, and Shawn's like her dad, So we always butted heads
Really?
and stuff. But gee, I don't know. They just, just watching them grow up, and times they would get themselves in trouble. The girls were always grounded, always.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know who was hurting more, them or me, because I had to be stuck in the house with them. But they were always grounded, always. They'd get off grounded, and they'd be grounded 2 days later.
Oh,
And so
sounds
just
like Louie.
some of the stuff Shawn would pull is like, we were in Germany, and she had a couple of her girlfriends were going to spend the night, and so Larry and I went to bed, and the kids were all fine, and I don't remember what time it was, but it was just real quiet. So I was going to go check on them, because sometimes they'd sleep on the patio,
Uh-huh.
and there was nobody there. The girls had snuck out.
Oh.
Well, they'd snuck out. I mean, I went looking everywhere in the housing area, and I just happened to see an MP, military police, and I told them, I said, there's 3 young ladies that are, like 12 years old, and they're supposed to be at my house, and I can't find them, And one of the boys that lived next door to us said he had heard them say something about going down to this German park. So the MP went down there. I says, if you have to, just take them to jail. He says, no, ma'am, I'll bring them back to you.
Oh, my.
And so he went down there, and he says, I can't, So I thought, God, I'm going to have to call these parents, And I went looking around the neighborhood one more time, and it was like 3 in the morning, and here they come, walking up through the housing area. And a couple of the boys had met them, and one of the fellas was on a bicycle, and he saw me, so he hid. Boy, I tell you, I was so mad. I got those girls home, and I made them call their parents. And it was like 3, 4 in the morning, And Shawn had one little friend that had a hearing aid, and whenever Shawn would get in trouble, or if she'd get in trouble, and that from me, she'd turn her hearing aid off, so she didn't have to listen. But they were in big time trouble for that. But Shawn was always into something. And little Larry, well, he just always tried to take care of everybody, And that always kind of bothered me, because Shannon had epilepsy when she got older, and then Shawn also was diabetic when she was a little older. And little Larry would always be, did you take your medicine? And, can you have that to eat? And that always bothered me. And that, but he was just, a goofy kid. He liked sports. He still does.
That's great.
He's given his dad and I some heartache, but
How tall is he?
he's 6 foot.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's 6 foot, so.
He got that from you, not Larry.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. He got it from the Fletcher side. And then all the bad stuff is from the Cargal side.
Exactly.
Not the Fletcher side, We're angels, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, I don't know, I just always, they would aggravate me, and I just sometimes think, God, why did I have kids? But they always just sometime at the end of the day always made you smile, and that's, and they still do it. They aggravate the hell out of me. you know? But, you know, at least 2 of them I can say got payback because they have kids now.
That's right.
Little Larry will get his. So, you know. But, you know, I don't know, just being my kids was, you know, special enough, so,
Right.
yeah.
Let's see. What about any kind of special interest that you have or
I like
had
to read.
or?
I like to read.
Really?
I don't read as
Read
much as
what?
books and
Like
well, mostly books. I've
Like
always,
romantic books?
and
or-
just about any kind. I mean, when I was a kid, I loved horses.
Oh,
And I
really?
used to read lots of different stories about horses, you know,
Wow,
and
really?
stuff. And that, but I've always liked to read. When Grandma Lou was alive, I used to go to her house all the time, you know, with Mom. And she had a big stack of those golden books, you know, the little children's books.
Yeah?
And I think until I was 16 years old, I used to drag those books out and read them
Huh.
all the time, you know. But I've always liked to read. I still do, but I haven't read a book in a while. I'll read magazine articles, you know, a little shorter span. I don't have to worry about my attention going wee, you know, that way. So, but that's mostly what I like to do is read.
Okay.
And the only reason you haven't read now is because you just don't have any books to read?
No, there's books all over. I
Yeah.
mean, in every room there's books. There's books packed away.
Yeah.
To tell you how much I like to read, when we were at Fort Leonard Wood and we were going to go to, we had orders for Germany, I sat on the floor with all my magazines, and I had bunches.
Huh.
And I knew I couldn't take all my magazines, so I would tear out articles, you know, and I was going to put them in a binder. And
Good idea.
and Larry goes, you know, just take the damn magazines, you know, just take them, you know. So I took a bunch of magazines with me, you know. He got tired of me sitting there going, well, that's good, you know.
Yeah.
Well, this seems like I might want to keep this one, and, you know. So, but that's, you know, yeah, I still like to read.
Wow.
But I have books everywhere.
What's your favorite color?
Oh, gee, green.
Green.
Yeah, I like green.
And how about favorite songs? Maybe.
Oh, well, I don't know. Of course, when Larry and I were going together, what was the name? It was by Bobby Vinton, and I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, it was a song by Bobby Vinton, so.
Really?
How'd it go? Sing it.
Oh, God, I can't even, you know, I can almost picture the title, but it's like, I can't remember it, you know. But after we were married and stuff and whatever, there's a song by Charlie Pride, and it's All I Have to Offer You Is Me. And
Oh.
that's kind of like,
That's
that's my
nice.
favorite song, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's more or less about, you know, he wants to give his girlfriend or his wife everything, you know, but he doesn't have the money, and it's, like he says, you know, I'd like to give you a house with a crystal chandelier, you know, but all I have to offer you is me, you know, and so
Oh,
that's kind of like, that's
oh,
my favorite
yeah.
song,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Let's see here.
Do you
Oh, what about you? How about the Bible? Favorite verse? Is there any kind of favorite verse out of the Bible?
Well, I'll tell you, let me get my Bible for a minute. Because I, you know, of course, through the years, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but, you know, I've kind of been in and out of the church. And I've always liked the 23rd Psalm. You know, that's kind of been my favorite. But there was, see, I keep little notes. My poor Bible is, I always, you know, write down little things that kind of make me think. And, well, like here's one. And I don't think this is, I don't know if this is in the Bible, I can't remember. But it says, when at night you cannot sleep, stop counting sheep and talk to the shepherd. See, I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah.
And then this one is Psalm 139, the 23rd to the 24th verse. And it goes, God, examine me and know my heart. Test me and know my nervous thoughts. See if there is any bad thing in me. Lead me to everything life, you know. And then, like I said, the 23rd Psalm. And there was another one too that I had, and I don't remember where it's at. But it's just, you know, just asking God to watch over me, you know. So that's about it. I do go to Bible study every 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Do you really?
Yeah, I have a Bible study group that I really, really like, and it's with the church.
That's
you
nice.
know. And there's really good people and stuff, so,
That's great.
you know,
That's great.
yeah.
Is there anything that you've always wanted to do but never got a chance to
Yeah,
do it, or?
well, probably a lot of
Can't
things,
afford
you
it
know.
or something.
Yeah, well, I always wanted to play the guitar, always, you know, and of course
Yeah.
never did. You know, I think that's probably the main thing, you know, just, you know, I wanted to play, I wanted to have talent of some kind, you know. I'm just one of those, you know, all my friends have some type of talent, you know.
You have.
I mean, my girlfriend Cindy, she can sew, and she can crochet and knit, and, you know, all this other stuff, you know. And then, like, my friend Sheila, she's a nurse, and,
You have
you
a
know.
great talent. My talent that I see in you is you're a great mentor.
Oh, well, thank you.
Wonderful mentor.
I just, you know, I always wanted there to be something special that I could do, you know. But
you
you
can
know, I always,
Mentor kids.
yeah, well, we used to have the kids, you know, the kids always over at the house, you know, and whatever. When we were at Fort Riley, the kids always used to call our house the youth center, because there was always kids in and out, you know. But then that way I could kind of keep an eye on them. Not that I knew what they were doing, but at least I knew where mine were, you know,
Yeah.
and they still caused trouble. But, you know.
Right. Okay. There we
We're
go.
in trouble. I guess I just want my family to know how much I love them. I know the last few years have been rough on everybody. This is kind of hard for me because I still have a lot of fight in me. But I love all of you. See, here come the tears. And my husband's the most wonderful man in the world. You've always stood by me. Not to say we didn't have our problems, but I love you so much. Or my kids. You kids always drove me crazy, one way or the other, but I love you so much. Shannon, you're so much like me that sometimes it's awful scary. And that, but, you know, I see how you are with the kids and, you know, trying to do things for yourself, and, you know, I think that's great. And Sean, gee, you've come a long way, you know. I think you had a lot of confusion in your life. You were always Daddy's girl, and of course when Daddy went to Desert Storm, you know, had to try your wings, I guess, and you know, we used to bump heads a lot. But man, you've really changed. I think you're just a great mom too. And you always, you know, call and ask if I need something, and just like Shannon and that. But you're like I said, you're like your dad. And Larry, my little boo-boo. I love you so much too. You know, you've headed down the wrong path a few times. I just hope that your life straightens out and you can find what you want. You know, and one thing that you did give me a gift of was Lainey. I know she's not with us, but she's always in my heart. And you grandkids, boy, I tell you, I think you're the greatest. You know, that's one thing I do love is my grandkids. I don't love one more than the other. I love yous all the same. And that. Mom, you're the greatest. I mean, you know, to raise us kids by yourself. I gotta quit crying, don't I? I think I should have got a roll of toilet paper. But, you know, you always be in there and trying to do the best for us. And, you know, me calling you once a week if I could, you know, that was always, you know, that's always special to me. Sometimes I get jealous when I hear that Kay or Lowell was taking you out to dinner or to lunch, because it was something I wanted to do too, but, you know, I was living so far apart. My goofy brother. I don't know about you, kid, but I love you. And Katie, boy, I tell you, you're so multi-talented. I was telling the girls how a lot of my friends just are so talented and whatever, and you, I mean, you just, you know, you're a nurse and you do things with your friends and, you know, trying to take care of, you know, Mom's business and just help out all the way around. I just want you to know how much I appreciate it and stuff, but, and of course, Pat, I love you, you know, I know things are a little strained right now, but just always know you'll be my favorite sister-in-law. And that, and the girls, I'm so glad they came up, Kathy and Ann. And Angie, I'm sorry I didn't get to see you, but, you know, maybe things will get a little better and we'll make it home and stuff. But I love all of yous, and, you know, I'm so lucky in so many ways and stuff. And I'll just keep doing what I have to do to make things better. I love all of you.